Ladies and gentlemen, I would very much like today to be in Almaty, Kazakhstan, because I think that this meeting, these fourth global consultations on the rapprochement of cultures in Eurasia is extremely relevant. It's extremely relevant because for the first time we need that this citizenship conscious on the necessity of action without delay, on the putting in practice the Sustainable Development Goals, in the action of the Agenda 2030 for our everyday behavior is not only very important but very urgent, because some of the threats today are of irreversible nature. And this is, a scientist, I know very well what this means. This means because 60 years ago I started trying to prevent and make the diagnosis at time of these pathologies of the children, newborn children, that can be prevented if are timely treated. But otherwise, the neuronal pathology is for always. And therefore, now we are facing irreversible global threats, and we must be all together, joining our hands and our voices. We must be with the peoples, As it is said in the Charter of the United Nations, in the first phrase, we the peoples, we have decided to save the succeeding generations from the scourge of war. Now we must say, at this moment was premature, because in 1945, 90% of the people, of the human beings, were born, living and dying in 40 or 50 square kilometers, and they were only knowing what was happening in their more immediate environment, but they were unable to express themselves. And for this they were fearful, they were obedient, they were submitted, and they were silent. But now, no, now for the first time in history, now we the peoples, the citizenship, now for the first time, if we are conscious of what is happening, now we are very important, we are equal, we were not. Now we recognize that we are equal in dignity, without any kind of discrimination because of gender or ideology or beliefs or ethnia. All the human beings equal in dignity. But now we have voice. Because of the digital technology, for the first time in history we can express ourselves. And this is very important. Because now we cannot remain spectators of what is happening. Now we must be actors of our life. And we must be conscious, and we must react. And we must say to all the others, all the other civilizations, all the other cultures, all the other beliefs, we must say, now we must go together. Together, all together, we the peoples. And we must react, and we must put into practice the Sustainable Development Goals. And we must put into practice the Agenda 2030. Now, this is more relevant than ever. During so many years, we the scientists, we have been claiming, saying, be careful that we are, at this moment, we are producing too many carbonic anhydride, that we are producing too many, that we are doing a growth that is only economic growth, but we are not taking into account the necessities of the nature. I remember already UNESCO in 1947 was already creating the International Union for the Conservation of Nature. And the Club of Rome in the year 72 was already saying we must have limits to growth. We cannot only bring in more benefits, in more growth. No. But always was the same answer. The same answer was silence. The same answer was that we were not listened at all by the governance. And then we thought, well, now we are going to have a summit, an Earth Summit, in order to say to the world that now we must already react and be citizens at the worldwide level. And that in this citizenship, conscious citizenship, we must be all together. And we had in Rio de Janeiro the Summit of the Earth, and we elaborated the agenda for the 21st century. Nothing. Nothing. Always the Republican Party of the United States refused multilateralism solutions. And at this moment they created the G6. And you know the results of this G6 governance. G6, G7, G8, G20, always silence. And in the year 2002, another summit, this time in Johannesburg, silence. And it was necessary that in the year 2015, President Obama, Democrat President of the United States, accepted and signed the agreements of Paris on climate change. And he signed as well the resolution of the United Nations General Assembly on the Agenda 2030 and the Sustainable Development Goals. Therefore, at this moment, yes, there was a kind of pause of hope. At this moment, yes, we were saying yes. Now, finally, we can already behave as it is necessary at this moment in the earth. For the rapprochement of all the human beings, saying that now we must be all together to have this possibility of facing global threats. But as you know, only 6 months afterwards, Mr. Donald Trump came to the presidency of the United States of North America and he said, I will not apply the agreements of Paris, I will not apply the Agenda 2030. And silence. The European Union, silent. All the other countries of the world, we are 196 countries, but only one has this capacity of saying that now we must do or not, and the neoliberal plutocratic agenda governs again in the world. Well, now is the right moment. It's for this that I was saying that I consider that this is a very important meeting, because now the conscious, the citizenship that knows already what must be done, now we have voice because we can express them ourselves, and now we know what we must say. Now we know that we must say that the Agenda 2030 can be the solution. That we need to work in a framework of multilateral democratic system. And this is what now we must do. Now we must take advantage of the new President of the United States of North America, the Biden and Harris, and tell them that for the first time 196 countries are going to take in their hands the future. Dear friends, I repeat, I am very sorry not to be present, but I would very much like to tell you that from Almaty in Kazakhstan, now we must listen the voice that you are telling to us, and we must act all together all the human beings equal in dignity, we must react to face the present threats.